And here we are. Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Just like that, the month of May is just moving right along. We have a lot to get to this morning. We have quite a few reporters jumping in too because it's a busy news week already on this Tuesday morning. Our top story this morning, at least on Sunrise, had to do with a dog park and some drama around that over in the East Bay in Barrington. Neighbors in Barrington looking for some solutions after the dog park there, owned by the town, was temporarily, closed down. Kennedy, this was your story this morning. She's about to join me right now. This, I guess, is a big deal because they need more funding and they're asking for it, but they're told there's not enough money, right? That's kind of the bullet points, if you will. Good morning. What's the latest?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, that's right. Just kind of spoke to a few dog owners, and to give people a little bit of background, they're upset because the dog park here in Haynes Memorial Park, they closed it a little bit earlier this year for construction temporarily, but dog owners now, they feel like they don't have anywhere to bring their dogs. And actually what they've kind of been doing is bringing dogs to athletic fields, which has also been a huge thing because a lot of sports and baseball coaches don't want to, see, bathroom remnants from the dogs. And they actually
But what if they're
have a
picking up their stuff still now?
sign
Okay.
here.
Oh,
They actually have a sign here that says no dogs allowed in athletic field area. So that was also ordinance they discussed on the meeting, and that kind of caused some frustration. But like you said, city council is just saying there's not really funding to build a temporary or another space for dogs. So they're also trying to figure out maybe they can have some funding
why did
for
they shut it
fence.
down though in the first place? Do you know?
They're building something. It's construction going on down there, and so that's
To
why it's
replace
closed.
it?
Say that again.
Is it to replace it and they have to move it somewhere else, or we don't know yet?
I don't think we know yet, but I know there's
Okay.
some. But yeah, it is temporarily closed.
Well,
But I
there's a
had
lot
some
of angry
dog
people.
owners
We know that.
come over to this wooded area. They just can't come over to like this athletic field right here.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, we'll keep
that's
following the story for
been
sure
up.
because it's not going to go away. We're
Yes,
losing you,
yeah.
Kennedy.
People are frustrated.
Connection's a little funny. I'll catch up with you when you
Oh,
get back to the station. No
okay.
problem.
Thank you. See ya.
Maybe it had to do with the weather. Jason is outside of our studios here in Cranston with a look at the rain. It's been raining for like 2 days straight. Jason, what gives? Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Allison, and good morning to everyone that is watching right now. That is right, stuck me out in the rain as we continue to track a little bit of shower activity moving through the region. It's yet another dreary, gross, uh, really forecast for our Tuesday, and we're going to continue to track a lot of this activity as we go through this afternoon. A lot of it starting to just bubble up and turn into a little bit more of the scattered showers and downpours right now, especially across Washington County, Rhode Island, and also Kent County, Rhode Island. A couple of those showers venturing a little bit further north too, a little bit closer to Providence and stuff. But as we go through this afternoon, we're expecting the intensity of these showers to also be ramping up and maybe potentially produce a couple rumbles of thunder as well, slowing down the evening commute if some of those steadier thunderstorms push into the area, unfortunately, with that perfect timing. But the good news is we're expecting things to start to wrap up as we go through tonight. It'll get off to a little bit of a cloudy and damp start tomorrow, but we should see a few peaks of sunshine before some isolated showers in the afternoon. And finally, nice little dry day on Thursday. But I'll tell you what, Allison,
Finally, yes.
everyone wanted some dry weather on the weekend. Well, it's going to take another rainy day to close out the work week before we can potentially
Right.
enjoy our Mother's Day weekend. So
Okay.
I'll have some of the latest information on that storm system later this week coming up at noon too.
All right, Jason. Thanks. We'll see you again at noon. All right, Gene Valicenti. He is home, but I think he's logged in with me right there. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning. Nice to be with you again.
Nice to be with you too. All right, you have been on Karen Reed, your favorite story. Get us up to speed. The Canton Police Lieutenant who retired, Paul Gallagher, is supposed to go back on the stand, and we know that a lot of people have been very critical of the investigation. So, what was your takeaway?
Well, he's significant because he talks about the gathering of the evidence, and the evidence, according to some, wasn't gathered too properly. Put in red Solo cups and bags, and they sprayed the snow with a leaf blower. So all of that is up for grabs and up for debate. Also on the stand yesterday was one of the paramedics who was there at the scene while the body was in the snow, and she testified that she distinctly heard Karen Reed say, "I hit him," several times. a statement, a declarative statement, not a question. And there's a question as to whether or not Karen Reed said, did I hit him?
Mhm.
Did I hit him? But now this is the second witness to testify that she said, I hit him. I hit him. So that case continues to be a source of fascination. Good time for us to plug our daily debrief. We do it 5 o'clock on the WJAR YouTube channel, which I believe we're also on now.
We are.
You
Yeah.
can also watch gavel to gavel coverage, and we recap all the court action in kind of a succinct, easy to understand fashion every day.
We
at
are week
5 o'clock.
2 into this, right? This is
Yep.
week 2.
This,
So I don't know. I've been predicting a month. What do you think?
I think you're probably going to be right because the defense hasn't even started its case.
Right.
This is still the state's case. They haven't
Yeah,
rested
it's
yet.
really fascinating for
So
sure.
there's a whole other half of this thing to go. By
And
the
there's
way,
a lot of politics involved too. Yeah.
are those new umbrellas we got that Jason had?
I think so, but I haven't seen one. Pop
Can we
by my
get? I
desk
want
yet.
one of those
They're
because they
good.
look
They're
really
big.
nice.
Yeah, and they're big. They cover you, which I could have used.
That's on the TV
Friday.
side. On the radio side, I got
Yeah.
new cubes for my radio show.
I like it. The Seagull Club.
You can see we're very easily amused here. Yeah, the
We are
Seagulls are
very
a
easily
nickname for our
amused.
listeners.
Yes,
So
it doesn't take
I'll
much,
get you one
does
of
it,
those.
Gene?
I'll
Does
get you
not
one
take
of those.
much. Yes, I'll have to put that on my one of my desks, one of my many
Yeah.
desks. Okay, so speaking about things being political, not just like with the Karen Reed trial, but also, we were talking about in Rome how political it is in many ways to pick a new pope, but they are all in right now. They're going to start talking. Everything is obviously very clandestine, but yeah, it's going to take a while to find a pope too, and there's a whole process to it. Does this fascinate you? Are you interested in this? What do you? I am.
It does.
I think it's very ritualistic. It's very old school, which is kind of interesting these days, right?
It does. I've been trying to talk to Boston to sending me over there to cover the conclave. I know there's a lot of reporters doing it, but I think I could add my own take on it. I was just there in this square in October. I've been to the museum. I've been in the Sistine Chapel. I'm claustrophobic in life. I don't know that I'd like to be locked in any room,
Right.
even as large
With all
as
the cardinals?
Sistine Chapel is. Imagine you hear the doors lock and you're not getting
They
out.
are locked in, right?
You're not getting
That's a
out
good
until
point.
the night when they let you go back to your bed, but you're locked in during the day. So I today, we were talking on the radio. My favorite is Pope Pizzaballa. Because I think he'd make a great headline for the next 20 years or so. Pope Pizza. He's an Italian. He's in the running.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
For headline purposes, he's in the running. I think he's the fourth favorite. The Italians are making a real move to reclaim the papacy because they haven't had it since John Paul. And it used to be
really
they
good
were all
point,
Italian
right.
popes. They want it back. So Pope Pizzaballa is I don't know.
He's
maybe
on the younger side too, right? Compared
Yep.
to some of the others, I believe.
He's got a goatee. He may have to shave that off. I don't know if they go for that as Pope.
No.
Maybe you get away with it as Cardinal, maybe not as Pope. But the Filipinos, the Filipino Cardinal, he's talked about. There's a Cardinal from Africa talked about. Some people are even talking about Bishop Tobin, not ours, the one in Newark. Might be an outside shot. Cardinal Tobin, rather, Cardinal. Cardinal Dolan is over there too. He's on the list, but I don't think he's got a shot.
Well, they need a 2/3 vote before we ever see the white smoke. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a while. That's what my gut is telling me.
Speaking of the Pope, you saw Donald Trump's Trump as Pope meme post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
What'd you think of it? What'd you think of it?
I hated it.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
He made it himself, right? It wasn't AI generated. It was wrong in poor taste.
He didn't. He said, "I didn't make it. I had nothing to do with it." But he
believe
posted
that?
it. He posted it on his Truth
right.
Social. The White House posted it. He owns it. It's his. It wasn't presidential.
Not at all.
I was listening to some of the comments. Cardinal Dolan didn't like it. Bishop from Rochester said it was a joke in poor taste. I think we'll leave it there. Probably should have avoided it.
You think? Yes, in very poor taste.
A joke in poor taste.
Actually, my dad and I had lunch yesterday because, it was his birthday too. So I took him out. We were talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Just enough already, Yeah, so it's interesting. We'll keep following all this. The last time I was in Rome a couple of years ago, but the last time I was in the Sistine Chapel was actually when I was a teenager, and it was under construction at the time. So I've never seen it since it's been restored. So that's on my list of things to do. But I don't wait in lines. I rarely wait in line. So the thought of waiting in a line to get into the Vatican just doesn't do it for me. So.
Well, there's a way to cut the line legally.
How?
Well, okay, this is very interesting.
Okay, this is interesting.
And this is interesting how they operate in Italy and at the Vatican too. You can go to someone nearby, just down a side street, and buy a ticket to literally cut the line.
So it's a residential VIP ticket almost?
It is just anybody can buy
Huh.
it. You got to get there early enough. I forget what they charge for it. It's not expensive. It's not cheap. I know, maybe 20, 25 euros a person. But you buy the ticket from this guy, and he takes you as a group to the front of the line. Now, that line has thousands of people. It winds its way all around.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, these are the people who don't know you can legally buy your way to the head of the line. You buy a ticket.
So it is legal,
right
huh?
up there. He takes you right up, and the guard opens the velvet rope, and he lets you right in. And you just beat thousands of people.
Is that what you did?
That's what we did, because the concierge said do that. It's legal. And we did it, and we paid to cut the line, and you go in. Now you buy your ticket. You didn't buy your ticket to get in the museum yet. You just bought a ticket.
Bought your ticket to cut yourself in the line.
But you saved hours, plural.
So that's legal?
That is totally legal. The Vatican's in on it.
Leave it
They
to the
know what's
Italians.
going on.
Leave it to the Italians.
Don't
I'm
wait
interested
in
if
line.
anybody has any
Cut the
comments
ticket.
for this.
Sounds like the Fast Pass, Gene.
Yeah, it's like a
Like the
fast.
fast. Oh, yes, that's good, Dan. That's true.
That's
Yes,
true. That's our
pay
producer.
more, you get more.
That's our
right?
producer chiming
Hi,
in.
Dan. It's like the voice of God there, Gene. Kind of
Yeah,
like
it is like a
God
fast
coming in.
pass. And
Like a fast pass.
and you go in, you buy your ticket for the museum. That wasn't that long a line. And then you're off and running. Now, you're going to walk a couple of miles to get, hold on a minute.
Hey,
It's the Pope
have you
calling
been?
me.
It's the Pope calling Gene Valicenti.
Oh, pizza
Have
calling
you
me.
been following the Brown story too? I want to wrap up.
I
with
have.
that.
I've had him on.
Take that down. I can't look at that.
I've had him on 4 times. This is Alex
Yes,
Shea,
he's
the
very
Brown
candid
sophomore.
with you. Yes.
We've given him the nickname Little Elon. He's got the chainsaw, and he's going after fat and wasted Brown, and he's in trouble for it. He has
Brown
a
does not
disciplinary
like it.
hearing tomorrow.
What do you
So
think
they
is
want
going
to
to
know
happen?
they want to know if he accessed computer files against Brown rules. Where did you get all these names, all these emails that he sent out to people? But I'm going to have him on the radio again tomorrow.
Oh, you
Because
are.
Brown
Okay.
is upping the ante with him.
University
really
just hit
kind of
student journalist Alex Shea with a disciplinary charge for writing for the Brown Spectator. Dean Kirsten Wolf claims using the word Brown is a trademark violation. Actually, it's called descriptive fair use, using a name to describe where you are, not to pretend you're endorsed. That's what protects the Harvard Crimson, the Dartmouth Review, and student media across the country. So why single out the Spectator? Because it exposed Brown's administrative bloat and financial waste. This isn't about trademarks, it's about retaliation.
Pretty sophisticated, huh? He's got his own political attack ad going.
Okay, this story goes on and on and on. It really does. Wow. I didn't see that until just now.
Be honest with you, I'm surprised at Brown that they're not letting this kind of just die down for a couple of weeks. The kid is a hot
does
story.
seem like
He's
they're
in the New
keeping it
York
in the
Post
news.
today.
Yeah.
Dan, Google the New York Post if you can. It's right there today. It's got a
wanna see
picture
that
of him in the
headline.
New York Post with the chainsaw and the brown pennant. He's been on Fox. He's been on my show 4 times. He's been on other news networks. He's all over the place.
Where's he from? He's not from Rhode Island,
He's
right?
he's from New England. I know that. I don't know if it's Massachusetts
Is he a
or New
junior?
Hampshire. He's a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay.
He's a sophomore, and he says there's waste, fraud, and bloat at Brown. And he sent out 3,500 emails asking administrators,
Said,
"What do you do?
Right?
What do you do to be paid this much money?" And he said, "That's why tuition is $93,000." Now, listen, he's hitting a nerve, especially with the Elon Musk Doge-like behavior. But you got to think, who's running Brown Public Relations? Would you lay off the kid for a couple of weeks until it dies down?
Well,
Because
it
you're
does seem
making
like
it worse.
I was going to say they're keeping it in the news too, for sure.
If they punish it, he's going to be on every news network tomorrow.
It's a whole thing.
That's Alex.
It's really kind of a fascinating story too.
It
There
is.
he is.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't had him on Channel 10. I don't know why.
No, we had him on
Oh,
yesterday.
we have? At
Kenny
night.
got him on yesterday, and we've had him on
Okay.
before too.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay. And then what else do you want to talk about? I was at the game. I was sending you pictures at the game on Saturday. It was a good time. The question is, will it be sustained? And that's what we want to see. 10,700 people in Pawtucket. Parking was not the nightmare everybody thought it was going to be. Now, let me tell you something. The game was at 4. I started driving around all the neighborhoods around 2 o'clock. People were in their gear, parked and walking. People did not, Gene, they
Yeah.
did not seem against walking, believe it or not.
Okay.
Everybody was in a good mood. So the
Well,
question is, that's game one, of course. So let's see what happens after game one.
well, it's like a restaurant in Rhode Island. Everybody's got to run there the first week. Yeah, and then
The
and then
stadium, though, was
and then it
spectacular.
kind of settles down. So listen, the controversy was not the controversy was not how much we can love a new stadium and how nice it's going to be. The controversy was how much the taxpayers were going to be on the hook for and how much we were going to guarantee if this thing went down the tubes. That was the controversy. That's why it couldn't get out of the Economic Development Commission. That's why Governor McKee had to come in and break the tie.
He broke the
Now,
tie.
I know
So
he
the
doesn't
question
want to
is
talk.
if it turns now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about that. I understand. Listen, that ship has sailed. We're in for it. We made the commitment. The taxpayers are on the hook, and the thing is built. So let's wish it well.
So
But
the
then
day after the game, rugby played. They've got the New England Revs. I believe it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So 3 games across, no, it was 4 games across 7 days, I think it was. Various games, not just soccer. I got to say the production value was really something when they were, there was a flyover, there was fire. It was a whole thing, and people were excited about it. So I'm curious to see if there are concerts coming down the line.
Well,
It's environmentally, they really
Yeah.
did clean up the river behind the stadium too. So it's this whole idea of reimagining Pawtucket. So we'll see.
if you're against the state, there's nothing you could do. It's built, it's here. Wish it well,
Right.
because the better it does, the better we all do. Now, tomorrow there's an interesting game, a soccer game. The New
Revs.
England Revs,
Right.
which is the top tier league, the professional
Right.
top tier league. They're coming down to play this team, which is part of like the second tier. They're like the Paul
Right.
Sox. So I'm going to
Exactly.
think if this team, RIFC, beats the Revs, what an embarrassment that will be. But
That's something, right?
so that's what they're going to do tomorrow. Also, the price of the food is raising eyebrows. $36 lobster roll, $34 I think corned beef sandwich from Maven's.
It's
and on
concessions.
and on and on.
Fenway's the same way.
It
Let's
is,
think
but
big
that's
city.
Fenway.
But let's think big city. Can't we like bump it up a notch?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I understand stadiums are a ripoff when it comes to food because everybody needs a cut. The team, the vendors, everybody's got to make money, and you're a
Right.
captive audience. So that's
Let's
what
see
it
what
is.
happens.
But we
Yeah.
got a few hours of talk radio out of that.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going.
Yep.
It will.
But honestly, I want to come see it. I may go tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Let me know if you go.
At 7:30 is this game,
7:30.
and I may go up on the Tom Quinlan's broadcast booth. He's calling the game on WPR.
That's right. I didn't know.
I may
Tom
go
was
see this
calling
thing.
it.
I may go see it.
So wait, you can go to a 7:30 game and then still be up for 6 a.m. for the radio?
Well, I'm not going to stay for the whole game. I'll just
Okay. Oh, how do you do that? How do you
I'll
leave
just go
early?
look and see what it is.
does
Okay,
that
very
work?
nice. Take a
I know.
couple
I got to
of
see it all the way to
leave.
the end.
Yeah,
I was going to say that was impressive, but you're still getting home late. You need sleep, Gene.
I know. I got to be in bed by 9. Well, you two, you go
9.
earlier than me.
7.
7. Wow,
7.
that's
I
early.
like it. I love
Yeah.
it.
You like it?
All right. Well, I don't. At this point, I'm going on 10 years on Sunrise. Yeah, so I don't have a choice.
It's been 10
At
years.
this point,
Wow,
it's going to be 10 years. Dan, are you listening to this?
that is
10
something.
years in August.
Yeah.
10
So-
long years, Allison, and we thank you
Survivor.
for all of them.
Thank you, executive producer, assistant news director, Dan Paquette.
Speaking on behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting, we're gonna.
Yes, there we go. Public announcement there. I had a good time though, anchoring live from out in the field. It was nice to be back out in the field again for sure with our new executive producer. So that was great. All right, Gina, I'm going to let you go because it's already 10:23 and Tammy's waiting to pop in.
Okay.
She has a story. We've been talking about this. Not enough doctors in the state, right? And Tammy's looking into that. She does a great job on the I team. So I'm going to pull her in right now. Jean, ciao for now. And I will see you later. I'm going to buy a little bit of time here because Tammy's about to log in, I think. But we've been talking about this for some time. I did a whole series on not enough dentists for special needs students. We're also learning that there's not, especially with Anchor Medical closing, more than 25,000 patients are without a primary care physician. So Tammy's been checking in on that. She's been trying to figure out where do all these patients go? Who do they work with? Tammy, this goes back to reimbursements as well. Doctors get paid more down in Connecticut, up in Massachusetts. So what are we going to do about it? Hi, I-Team.
Hi. So, yeah, we really took an in-depth look into this, Allison, and you may remember I actually did a couple of stories on this a couple of years back. So it shows you that this is really an issue that has been going on for quite some time now. It's kind of just been thrust into the spotlight because of the announced closure of Anchor Medical Associates. But this has been around for a while, and I took a closer look at the reimbursement rates. Private insurers that border Rhode Island and Massachusetts, their reimbursement rates are close to 30% higher than doctors in Rhode Island.
That's a good chunk.
It is.
That's not 5%. Wow.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
that much. Okay.
So that's a big chunk right there. And then I also looked at Medicare reimbursement rates and Medicaid reimbursement rates. Both are higher in Connecticut and Massachusetts. For Medicaid, there's a pretty big discrepancy in Connecticut and Metro Boston area, but there's also a discrepancy with the rest of Massachusetts as well. So if you work in Western Mass, and those rates are also higher than if you work in Rhode Island or Central Mass or other parts of Mass. So it's really, we're trying to compete with these two states that pay way more. And then on top of that, doctors also told me, the main issues are also administrative tasks, that they spend most of their day doing that instead of tending to patients. And
Right. That's a problem.
that's not why doctors got into this industry.
Right. And that's why a lot of people are going concierge now. It's going to be really interesting to see. I've been in this market a little bit longer than you, and I've been hearing about this story since then. So I'm dying to know if there's finally going to be a push to change these reimbursable rates and start building up the economy in that way. The governor doesn't shy away from it. He talks about it, but still nothing's been done. So we'll see. When's your story on?
I believe tonight at 6, I'm going to take a guess, but air at 5:30, so no promises, but sometime in the evening news.
Okay. Leave us something for sunrise and we'll pull you on. I know I miss you. I don't see you the way I used to.
We used to have so much fun.
It's all through text. I know. Well, great job as always, Tammy. We appreciate it, and I'll follow up with you later too. All right, that does it for us today. We went a little over our time, but that's okay. It's a little less traditional of a broadcast. We want to thank you for turning to 10 as well, and all of these stories, Tammy's included, of course, we'll update on our website, turnto10.com, and do start commenting on these broadcasts, and we'll interact with you as well. We love to engage with everybody who tunes in. All right, from all of us here at NBC 10, have a great day.